Hello, everybody. This is Tiggy Maximus with Tiggy Maximus Talks. This is episode 148 on YouTube, and thank you guys for listening to all these episodes up to this point, or most of it. And I love speaking my mind about sports, food, and comedy, and honestly. Uh, a lot of great sports happening lately, and went to a great comedy show last Wednesday, which I'll talk about here, and had some good food recently. So I'm gonna try to squeeze that all in into this episode. And again, if you have been following, subscribing to the podcast, there's also a link you can also click on my Spotify podcast. Tiggy Maximus Talks, and you can actually make a donation towards the podcast. Anything is appreciated, guys. Um, so, let's talk about the comedy show. I went to one last Wednesday. It was at the Pally Wine. Great lineup. Headliner was Trenton Davis. Seen him a couple times before. Uh, Great comedian. And he always has this catchphrase, take the vaccine, take the vaccine. But that's only because, you know, apparently it makes you sterile. So, um, yeah, it's kind of cool talking to him for a little bit, to see how he's doing. Um, Always has a great show whenever it comes to cash comedy. And, crowd started to like him quite a bit. Um, uh, There was also a dusty tunnel on the show. Joe Smith was also on the show too, first time seeing him. And then there was Melissa Weisman, representing the female population. Um, so it was a great turnout. I would say it was about 85, 90% filled up. So, and this is um, pretty much early December. This is what December 6th was the show. So, um, let's see. So, I showed up. Um, Had a glass of wine. I had a 6 ounce. Um, because I'm kind of a lightweight. So 6 ounces is actually good enough for me, actually. But even with 6 ounces, I still need to drink a lot of water. Um, so I believe Cash did go up, and I did see him kind of in between comics. Um, I don't remember much about his stand up. It was probably very so so when it comes to hosting and just telling a few jokes here and there, but it's not like his main jokes. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure he was trying to get to know, like, who's who. I think there was a boat lady or something. So, um, I would probably say that the kind of feedback that he got for him talking was probably a 7.3 out of 10. So he got a ton of reactions, but not enough for a crowd to kind of get interactive with the host. So that's kind of expected when it comes to hosting, I guess. So um, I believe with me when I first came in, because I had to keep circling around the Pally one because I couldn't find parking. That's what happens when you kind of show up close to showtime. So, so when I did find parking eventually, um, I believe I parked on Ivy, which is the next street over from India. So I was fortunate after like the 13th time going around the little area. So I actually walked in during Joe Smith's comedy set, and he's a he's a really cool guy to talk to actually. And I got to know more about his podcast. Now, granted, I actually don't remember much about his comedy set because I think I had to like use the restroom, so I missed his set completely. I did see him up there, but I don't remember like a big like ovation of laughs. So maybe he was possibly so, but because I don't remember much, I'm not gonna say much. I mean, you probably couldn't have been more than a 7.8 out of 10. If anything, probably baseline 7, but 7 to 7.8 probably was how I kind of gauged it for like a few seconds. But um, but maybe next time when I see his name on a lineup, I'll make sure I'll be paying attention for the full set. So we'll see. Um, his podcast actually is called, I guess it's called Getting Your Act Together, I think it's called. So I followed. So hopefully it's a good listen. So keep doing what you're doing, Joe Smith. Um, Next person I believe went up. Uh, it might have been Melissa Wiseman actually. So she had some good jokes. I guess she had a good rapport with the boat lady who was in the crowd close to her. Um, I think I remembered Melissa had said to the crowd or asked from the crowd, what is the best compliment you've ever had, or the best weird compliment you ever had? And I guess somebody had said nice hair, I guess, but the fact that he was bald. So, yeah, that was kind of funny. And then, her usual jokes, um, the 20 centimeter joke, I think she did. Talked about the foodie and wine connoisseur joke. Um, oh, I think there was also a joke where um, she said that she used to be 400 pounds and nobody believes her. So, some good classics. And, the crowd responded. Especially if a crowd like that is not familiar, or if they knew that this was a surefire joke to laugh, you know. Um, I mean, I've heard most of her jokes, and she's working on some new ones. But when you go up there, you always want to make sure you do well almost every single time, while kind of mixing in some new ones. So, I think she was an 8.3 out of 10 for a comedy. Um, and then there was Dusty Tunnel. Um, he had some surefire jokes like the waffle stomp, getting plastered, being sober. Um, there was, most of the set was pretty chill though. But he got some good laughs for like maybe less than 15% of his set. So I would probably say Dusty was probably let's say 7.9 out of 10. Um, and actually got to talk to him, and he said he was a little bit nervous. I think he said so, but I thought he did all right. So crowd liked some of the stuff. He did say, like, if you couldn't tell, I'm single. Um, but I got some chuckles. Um, oh, and I think he got a pet. So, um, that's pretty cool. Um, so I would say, yeah. He was kind of cool to talk to, and then some of the guys kind of were chatting together. Trenton and Cash and Joe and Tunnel. That's the Tunnel. I think Melissa had to go early, so I think she had to drive back to LA and kind of gauge her energy level. Um, let's see. And then we got your headliner. Your headliner, Trenton Davis. So I have seen him before at the Ash Ash Social. Above Ash Social on Ash Street. And I did see him at a show with Alice Petite at the Abnormal Nights comedy show. So he usually does pretty well. I would say he dressed pretty well, and then talked about the vaccine, talking about dating women, um, pretty old, and being at that age where you can date young and date old. And he said that there's a rule that he follows that if you do date someone younger, it should be, what was it? Someone half your age plus 7. So, I guess he said he was 40, 45, 46. So, he would be dating a 30-year-old at the youngest. So he had some like pretty good suggestions and advice, and then I'd have heard some of his stuff, especially his catchphrase, "Take the vaccine, take the vaccine." Um, he did talk about like if he was to make love to an older lady, um, someone like Harriet Tubman or something. Um, Talking about breaking hips. um, I think the last time I remember, I think he's dating a Caucasian woman or something. So, yeah. So overall, he did pretty well with the crowd. Some of it might have taken some time, but he didn't have to rush or put a lot of stuff back to back. So he was kind of doing the advice, and then it leads to a joke. A little bit of storytelling leads to a joke, and then he does kind of reference some of the stuff he said earlier, and then finishes with his catchphrase, "Take the vaccine," especially when he's annoyed by some people. So overall, I would say Trenton Davis was 8.75 for his comedy. So great stuff. So it's kind of cool talking to everybody as much as I could, and then I did see Christy Matsutani, so that was pretty cool seeing her. She brought her dog too. So there's a few dogs on the patio, the elevated bar patio. That's at the back of the patio of this comedy show. So, the next comedy show I'm going to go to is going to be tomorrow night. It's going to be at the Hollywood Roosevelt. It's going to be hosted by Rachel Sterling. Can't wait to see her again. It's been like a long time since I last seen her. I think the last show I saw her at was Mic Drop, Gold Room. She's gonna do a mix of like music from Kay Sania, and there's burlesque performance that she brought in choreographer, and then there's comedy. So one of them is Erica Rhodes and Laurie Douglas. So it's gonna be kind of cool seeing them. And then I guess the host or MC is going to be like Georgia Leah, and we'll see what kind of performance Rachel's going to perform. Maybe she might dance. She might tell some jokes. So we'll see. I want to mention the Lakers did win the NBA Cup in-season tournament championship. So they beat the Indiana Pacers. That was pretty cool. Beat them 123-109. Cool court in Vegas. Lakers are the first champions of this special in-season tournament. Got the NBA Cup. LeBron was the MVP of the game. So Anthony Davis did super well. Austin Reeves did really well. And great performance. And hopefully the Lakers can reproduce this type of performances for like the next 6 months. So I'm kind of excited to see if this is the playoff style Lakers going forward. I am pretty excited. And they're going to play the Dallas Mavericks tonight, and it's going to be on TNT. And if you have Max, it's going to be on Max streaming, so I might do that tonight. Chargers, they may have lost Justin Herbert for the rest of the season. He has 2 bad hands now. He has broken finger in his right hand, and he has a bad finger in his left hand. So he basically cannot actually hold a football right now. So he's having surgery today, and he's not available for the Raiders game this coming Thursday. Raiders going to be on Prime. I'm going to try to get some people together. Maybe the Chargers might be good enough without Herbert to beat the Raiders this particular Thursday. But honestly, I don't have very high hopes. I don't expect them to actually make the playoffs, but they might sneak in. But honestly, I don't expect them to do it. So they just lost to Denver Broncos at home 24-7. So Easton Stick is going to be the quarterback going forward until the end of the season. So we'll see what he can do with full reins of the team. So yeah, right now the Chargers are 5-8. So technically, if they lose one more game in the last 4 games remaining, which by the way I'm going to go to the Buffalo game on the 23rd December, chances are the Chargers won't make the playoffs if they have 9 losses. So right now they're 5-8. So they are pretty much at their last hurrah, last stand. So there's the last chance really. Got to beat Denver, got to beat the Raiders, got to beat Buffalo, and then beat the Chiefs. Tall task. So yeah. And again, LA Kings are still doing pretty well. I think they're on top of the Pacific Division. So they're just cruising on through with a very good team right now. I think they only lost like 3 games so far. And it's like 20 plus games already, so that's pretty good. UFC. I watched the UFC fights at home actually, and a little bit at Dave & Buster's when I went there to watch the Lakers win the NBA Cup and watch the Devin Haney Prograis fight for the 140-pound championship. One of the 4. Song Yadong pretty much dominated El Guapo, Gutierrez. He basically got 2 50-45s and one was 50-44. So complete sweep. Song Yadong did call for basically the champion at 135. Also, that's Volkanovski. No, not Volkanovski. Sean O'Malley. It's weird. I actually would like to see a fight between Song Yadong and Sean O'Malley. That'd be a good fight. Also, I believe Song Yadong did also probably called out Peter Yan. So Peter Yan and Song Yadong might be a good fight. So I'll be waiting for that one down the road. So Devin Haney challenged Prograis for his 140-pound championship, one of the four, and Haney, I believe he was an undisputed champion at 135, and he's moving up to take one of those titles. So, what do you know? Devin Haney got the knockdown early in the second, third round of Prograis, and honestly, it was a shutout. And because of the knockdown, all three judges scored at 120, 107. Great job by Haney. Too fast for Prograis. I think Prograis only hit got 29 of the punches landed, and it was like 10% of what he threw landed. So that's pretty bad. Haney had a higher rate, connected, and pretty much did pretty well. So kudos to Devin Haney. Honestly, I'm waiting for Haney to challenge Tank Davis. So that's going to be a great fight. Hopefully it happens in 2024. I did have some good food. I went to the Tien Hung. That's in Hermesa. I got the #1 special. So basically it's steamed rice rolls and really good stuff. I recommend it. It was like a 9 out of 10. Fish sauce is not too heavy. You get a great portion for the #1 special of steamed rice rolls. So you get a variety. So you get some veggies in it too. So just let you know, Sundays is super busy there. So there's a line outside. I did have some food at Dave & Buster's. I got some pretzel dogs. Those are alright. The habanero sauce was kind of spicy. The pretzel dogs, I would say they're about 8.4 out of 10. I also had the chicken avocado club sandwich. That was decent. I would say 8 out of 10. So there you have it, guys. Food, comedy, and sports. I will talk to you guys again soon. I'll let you guys know what happens at the comedy show tomorrow night, and hopefully have some good food. And we'll talk more about sports later. Sports, comedy, food, guys. Well, you know the saying goes. Boom. Tiggy Maximus signing off. Bye bye. All right, guys. Talk to you guys later.